sure we are recording. All right. Good morning again. Welcome. Uh, again, first thing we want to do is, if we haven't already, please pull up Summit, and I will share my screen real quick here and show you how to find the note taker that we were using last class that we were working on. All right. So let me do that real quick. If there's anybody who is still not registered for our class on Summit and you need the enrollment code, please let me know and I can send it to you in the chat. All right. But I think everybody in here should be registered. Hey, good morning, Esmaya.
Good morning.
You are in the right place. Good to see you today.
You too.
All right, y'all. So again, if there's anybody who you still don't see our class on Summit, then that means you still have to register. So let me know and I will send you the code. If not, then you are good. So let me share my screen real quick and remind everybody how to pull up what we are working on Summit. Okay, so you get to Summit, your page looks like this. All right. You want to go over here to your year view as always, and then find our class, which is creative writing. Okay, and then you want to click right here on our project, homegoing. And then you see checkpoint 1 right here says reading notes. If you click that and then scroll down, you will see the second one here says entry event note taker. Right. Then if you click on that, it will look like this. Okay, so it's homegoing and family trees. And this, if you were here on Friday and you had this pulled up, it should look a little familiar. Okay. So this is what we want to have pulled up right now. This is what we were working on last class. All right. So how to find that again one more time real quick. When you get to Summit, it'll look like this. Get over here to year view, scroll down, creative writing, click on project. Checkpoint 1 is right here, scroll down, and then the second link right here, you want entry event note taker, okay? And then when you click that note taker, it should look like, give me one sec here. Should look like this. All right. Now, mine has what we did on Friday filled out on it. Okay. So if you pull yours up and yours does not, we can take a little time and get caught up there. But when you have this pulled up, please do me a favor. Let me know in the chat that you have this pulled up in front of you.
Hello.
Yes.
How you get to it again?
All right. I'll show you one more time real quick.
All right.
Hang on one sec. All right. So, I'll put it on my student view so it looks like yours.
I'm not on a computer.
Okay. If you are not on your computer and you can't get to it, that is fine. Again, we do record all the classes, so this will be up on the Yes Philly YouTube page along with our stuff from last week, probably later today. So you can always go back, look at it there, and work on it later. We'll also be doing our kind of Summit Lab office hours later today between 1 and 3. So you can come back, get caught up during those times as well. So it'll be the same link for that as it is for this chat right now. And if you kind of want like one-on-one catch-up help, you can do that as well.
Okay.
Or if you just want to like screenshot stuff on your phone so you have it to look at for later,
I took my screenshots already.
that's fine too. All right, cool. I would um I would be remiss if I didn't tell you guys to, if you can, to always try to be on your laptop when you sign into class, since that's where obviously pretty much all the work is going to be. And Summit is a little tricky on your phone. It works better on your laptop. But I know our schedules are different. We might be coming from or going to work or anything like that. So it's okay if you can't. But if you can, you should always try to be on your laptop, right? So can I one more time real quick, because I know you were asking how to pull this up. So just one more time, if anybody still needs it, you are going to Summit. When you get there, it should look like this. And then if you go over here to the left in the purple side, you'll see it says year. You want to click that. All right. And then if you scroll down, you'll see our class that says creative writing. And click on our project over here. It says homegoing, right? And then right here, you'll see checkpoint 1, reading notes. Click on that. And then if you scroll down, the second link right here says entry event note taker, right? And it will look like this. And that is what you want to have pulled up, okay?
I wasn't paying attention. I really wasn't. Today, not the day. It just really, I'm really tired. I was up all night.
No, whereas I mean, what I just show you help? Can I, like, do you have it pulled up now, or do you want me to go through it one more time?
Maybe, please.
Go through it one more time?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. All right. I would rather go through this a couple times and have everybody have it pulled up than be talking and nobody has it pulled up. And we're just kind of spinning our wheels here. Okay, so you've gotten to Summit. It looks like this when you log in. You want to go over here to the left-hand side where it says year. Okay. And then you want to scroll down till you see our class, which is creative writing. Okay. And then find our project, which is homegoing. Click right here. And then when you get to this page, you should see checkpoint 1 on the left-hand side like this. If you click right there and you scroll down again, you'll see the second link says entry event note taker, right? And that's what you want to click on.
I
And
got it.
when you click on that, all right, awesome. Thank you very much. All right. And then again, like when you click on that note taker, it should look something like, hang on one sec. It should look something like this. All right. So, hey, Shabria has joined us. Awesome. Welcome. All right, yeah. So those of you who have been here, the code, Ashley, I can put in the chat for you. There is the Summit code if you need it. But if you've already registered once, you shouldn't need to register again. Just make sure you're logging into Summit the correct way, hitting that Google Drive link and so on and so forth, okay? So this is what we should have pulled up, the entry event note taker under checkpoint 1 in Summit under our project homegoing. Those of you who are just joining us, if you're able to find that and get it pulled up, please do so. If not, you can just kind of take some screenshots, follow along, whatever you need to do. But again, we're in our project for creative writing. It's called homegoing. You should have checkpoint 1 right here. And if you scroll down, it is going to be the second link right here. Okay. Now I am realizing that I may have not been doing it in demo mode yesterday, so you may have these two things already filled out on yours, which if you do, that's okay, since that is what we were doing on Friday. Um, so we're going to kind of recap that a little bit, and then we'll start moving on to the bottom part. Okay. So just another quick check. Um, does everybody have this pulled up? Is there anybody who is still trying to find it and is having trouble? Please let me know right now. All right, so I'm going to assume if I don't hear from you, you have this pulled up and you are ready to go. Okay. If you know that is not the case, then please give me a shout or tell me in the chat. All right. No worries, Tyquil. Thank you for letting me know. I know everybody's dealing with different.
I can't do none of that without on the computer.
Yeah, that's no problem. Again, like I said, as long as you are, kind of following along, paying attention, taking screenshots or whatever you need to, that's fine. Because I know some of us have limited computer access. So like I said, there is going to be the Summit Lab later this afternoon. If you want to come into that chat and get caught up then. The recording of the class is going to be on the Yes Philly YouTube page later today. So if you want to work on it later on your own, you can pull up that class recording and follow along with that. All right. But I appreciate you guys letting me know either way. All right. So then, ladies and gents, moving on with this. If you were here on Friday for last class, you should remember that we started talking about our novel that we're going to read, Homegoing. Okay. And we looked at this epigraph right here that you also have on your note taker. Okay. Can anybody either in the chat or verbally remind us what an epigraph is? Do we remember from last class? And if you have your note taker pulled up and you're not sure, if you look at what the epigraph is on your note taker, that might be a way to kind of refresh your memory. But can anybody remind us what that means if there's an epigraph in a story? How did we define an epigraph last time? Can anybody refresh our memory? So this is the epigraph for this book, Homegoing. It's this Aiken proverb that says, "The family is like the forest. If you are outside, it is dense. If you are inside, you see that each tree has its own position." So that's the epigraph for this book. So what can we say an epigraph is? Who can remind us what our definition of an epigraph is for a book? Tyquil says a quote in the beginning. You are absolutely correct, my friend. Good job. All right. An epigraph is, and you should have this filled in on your note taker if you were following along yesterday. And like I said, I may have actually filled it in for all of you by mistake when I was doing it in class yesterday, since I may have not been in demo mode. So I might have gotten it for free. So either way. An epigraph is a quote at the beginning of a book that gives an inference as to what the theme of the story might be. Okay, tells us, hey, here's a little hint about what the story might be about, or the theme the story might be trying to teach us based on this quote, like we can see right here. So good job, Tyquil. Thank you. And then we talked a little bit about this specific epigraph for this book, and we tried to define it, say, okay, what does this mean? What does it mean for the book as a whole? And we said if someone is an outsider to a family, it may be hard to see the different roles that each member or generation of that family plays. For the text, it means that it may be hard for some characters or the reader to understand the main character's family dynamic or journey. So we've been talking a lot about family, right? And how, just like a forest, if you're outside looking in, it might be hard to see because the forest is so dense and thick and there's a lot going on. But if you're inside, you know that each tree has its own position, just like everybody in a family has their own position, their own role. Okay, so we're going to continue with this. And now we are going to actually look at some family trees. Okay, has anyone ever done or made a family tree before, whether in their own family or even if it was like for a project in another school you were at before, but or if you've done like an ancestry.com or anything like that, or somebody in your family has anyone ever done like a family tree and kind of done any background in your research on their like heritage lineage? You can let us know in the chat. You can come off mute. Has anyone ever done anything with family trees before? Or done their own? Nobody. We have no family tree researchers in here. I can share mine. I haven't personally done one, but my family did research kind of on my dad's side a little bit, and we were able to trace all the way back to like our ancestors in Italy, because my dad's side of the family is mostly Italian. So we were able to find like this is the part of Italy we came from, and this is all the people that came to America in the early 1900s. So that was very cool. And Tyquil says yes, he has. So how was that experience, Tyquil? Did you find it interesting? Did you learn anything new that you didn't know before when you did it? What can you share about doing that family tree that you thought was interesting? And if anyone else besides Tyquil has also done family tree stuff or anything like that, feel free to share as well. All right, no worries. Sometimes that can be the thing about a family tree is depending on how long ago they're done, they may change dramatically, right? So I just wanted to see if there's anybody that had done one, right? But even if you may not remember what you learned, we still kind of already know the basic gist, right? And so family trees, family heritage, and genealogy is something that's going to be super important in this story as we read. So we're going to look at a few of these today, right? Now you also have some stuff to fill in, excuse me, on your note taker with this as well, right? The first part being just defining a family tree. Okay, so when we say what is a family tree, we mean
Why can't I see you?
you can't see me probably because I'm sharing my screen with all of you. So
I don't see what you're sharing.
right, it looks like I'm sharing. I don't have it paused, so I'm not 100% sure as to why you're not seeing it. Are you seeing it now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So when we say what is a family tree, we mean a family tree is a diagram that shows the relationships between members of a family throughout generations. Okay. And family trees come in all shapes and sizes. Some people know many branches they're trees, others may not, and that's okay. Like Ted Quill said, he did his a while ago, so he's not, doesn't quite remember, which is totally fine. Some events like war and slavery have made it very difficult for some people to even be able to trace back their lineage past a certain point. Okay. Um, sometimes, the war stuff can go either way. Like on my grandmother's side, my grandmother on my dad's side of the family, right? My dad's mom, she was a member of this organization called the Daughters of the American Revolution, which means we can trace her side of the family all the way back to somebody who fought in the American Revolution and the Revolutionary War. But there's other people who might go the opposite way and be like, well, hey, because of this war, because of whatever war it is, we can only trace our history back to a certain point, because before then there was slavery and we don't know what happened, or we fought in this war and they they changed the records up, or we moved, or whatever it is. So there's always like historical events that can affect how far back we can trace a person's lineage. And if we remember, our story that we're going to read is set in 1700s in Africa. So that might be a key thing here that we want to look for. Right? Other people may have difficulty due to adoption, immigration, missing historical documents, or any other reasons families may have for change, such as moving around or even changing names. So we know a lot of times families that came over in the early 1900s, like through New York City, through Ellis Island, a lot of their last names got changed. Maybe because they were hard to pronounce, or because they wanted a more quote unquote American sounding name. But there's a lot of stuff that can factor into how far back we can trace our family trees. Okay. So what we're going to do now is, with the time we have left, we're going to look at a few family trees and think about, what do we notice about each one? How is each one kind of organized? What's interesting about it? What's unique? All right. And like I said, before we go, there is going to be something I want us to fill out on our note-taking sheets. So please make sure you have those pulled up. If not, and again, if you're not at your laptop right now, that's okay. Just make sure you are following along so you know what to do when you when you come back and get caught up. Okay. So I'm going to go through each, once this loads, I'm going to go through each kind of family tree here, and I want you guys to tell me either in the chat or over your mic would be preferable, since I'm not going to be able to see the chat. So if you can come off mute and just tell me. But what do we notice about each one? So hopefully this doesn't take forever to load like it just was. All right, let me try this real quick. All right, sorry y'all. I'm trying to get this figured out ASAP. Yeah. Oh, and Shabria, I just see what you put in the chat now about your family tree, that you learned a lot. That's really cool. Can you, while we're waiting for this to load, can you explain any more about it? Like, did you do it on your mom's side of the family, on your dad's side? Like, did you discover any relatives you didn't know you had? Like, what was kind of interesting about it that you learned? And we'll watch Shabria think of that. We'll try this again. Okay. See if this loads rather quickly. Awesome. Okay. So here's our first kind of example family tree. Right. So anything that we notice about this one? Anything interesting? Anything that makes it stand out? What do you guys notice about this one? Again, I can't see the chat while I'm sharing, so if you have a response, if you want to say it over your mic and come off mute, uh, go ahead and do that. What are some things we notice about this family tree? Anything in particular? Yeah. Oh, I did just see your response in the chat, Shabri. That is really cool. They made it into a slideshow. That's awesome. Family reunions are always usually where we kind of like dig into this stuff. All right. So once again, this first example of a family tree, anything we notice, anything that stands out, right? You know, what's unique about this one, about this example, family tree? Does this look like most of the family trees you've seen or that you imagine when you think of a family tree? Does it look different? Is there anything missing? What do we what stands out in this one?
Is this class mixture with different grades?
Say it one more time.
Is this a mixture class with different grades?
I'm not. Do you mean like different grade levels?
I'm doing 12th and 11th. This is useless.
Okay. Well, I mean, first of all, I'd like to be a little bit more respectful to the content, but it depends on the credits you need. So it's not necessarily based on like grade level. So
Right.
if you need like a humanities, like if you need a humanities credit, or like an English credit, then this is the class that you would be in.
When is this? Okay.
Oh, that's really cool, Shabria. Thank you for sharing that. So that's another thing about family trees that's interesting is you can learn like different heritage you have. Like Shabria saying her great grandmom is Cherokee Native American, so that's something that we might not know. So that's really cool. Okay, and Shabria's also told us in the chat. Thank you, Shabria. You're killing it right now. About this example that we're looking at, that it shows the different relationships between the families, which is true. So if you look at kind of the way they have these different lines, and it tells you up here in a key, which is very important that, each family tree usually has some type of key that lets the person who's looking at it know, like, okay, this is what all this stuff means. So in this key, for example, we can see these different color lines mean different types of relationships. So like a red line means they got married. So that's why you see most of those between like great grandpa and great grandma, grandpa and grandma, and mom and dad. Whatever it is. Oops, sorry. Right. Purple lines mean they're siblings. Okay. And then the blue boxes are for dad's side. The yellow boxes are, are for mom's side. Okay. So we can see over here, like, okay, the red lines, these people got married, and then they had children, right? And then those children on each side got married, and now they had children, and now these people are brother and sister. All these people over here are brothers and sisters. That's why you have the big purple line. Okay. And then we have this box right here is the person who's creating this chart. And then what do we notice about these boxes up here? These boxes at the top. So the boxes on mom's side, what do we notice about the ones at the top? Somebody who can tell us in the chat or over your mic, since I can't see the chat while I'm sharing my screen here, but oops, sorry. What do we notice about these boxes over here on mom's side? Do we have the same kind of info over here in these boxes that we do for the ones in dad's side? What's different here? They only identify the father's side, right, Shpriya? Thank you. Yeah. So, and as you can see in this little kind of note down here, sometimes we don't know the names of all our family members, but we do what we can. So that's why we have question marks for kind of the great grandparents on this side. And like we mentioned before, sometimes that might be because names get changed. We have different historical events that, we don't have that information anymore. There's something gets lost in a move or a fire or a flood or something like that. But we kind of do. So we kind of fill in the boxes as best we can. Right. So that's one example of a family tree. This would be another type of family tree called a genogram, like you can see down here. So genograms, which display detailed information through symbols and color coding, such as hereditary patterns and psychological factors and relationships. Notice that this diagram shows biological and adoptive parents for Daniel. So what genograms do is they look at the actual genetic makeup, and we kind of do a family tree that way. So it's saying not only do we have grandma and grandpa who then have Andre, we also have some of these different symbols to show us like, okay, Andre and grandpa have these same kind of traits or genes, as does like Daniel down here, and so on and so forth. So you can see like all the different symbols kind of map that stuff out, right? And here we have another example, right? This example can help you with some terms for relatives. So if you ever heard somebody say like in a movie or a show, or when you're reading something, say like, oh, this is my first cousin twice removed. This kind of diagrams that and how we kind of tell what those mean, right? Because we have like second cousins, third cousins, once removed, twice removed. So this would be an example of how to find what that stuff means. Okay. Now here we have another example of a family tree. This one might be a little bit more familiar to some of you. This is kind of like a real life one. So this is the Kardashian and Jenner family trees. We have Kris Jenner, Robert Kardashian, who have Rob, Courtney, Kim, and Khloe. As I'm sure some of you, if not most of you, all know. And then we have Kris and now Caitlyn Jenner, formerly Bruce Jenner. And then they have Kylie and Kendall, right? And then we see the people that all of these people are married to. Then we have like Kim and Kanye down here. So they have Saint and North and Chicago, Chloe and Tristan Thompson, Rob Black China, all these people. So this is kind of like a real life example of this first one, showing like, okay, who's a sibling, who is somebody's kid, all right? And that's what it would look like, all right? So the point of all this is that in the story that we're going to read, Homegoing, there's a family tree or genealogy on page IX of the text, which is also seen right here, okay? So this gives you some insight into the characters you're about to read about and how they're all connected. You continue to reference this page as you read to remind yourself who's who and how they are connected to one another. So this is something in the book that we will be coming back to quite a bit because, you know, the story is told through different characters' perspectives. It kind of jumps around. There's like different flashbacks, flash forwards. So it might be hard to keep track of that. So that's why they kind of have this in there. And you can see this family tree is kind of laid out much like some of the other ones we just looked at. So we can see these people are all connected. So these are all siblings and like these are each other's children because they're kind of going down that way. All right. And then they had the little plus sign here instead of a line showing like maybe these people got married. Okay. So we'll see kind of how this plays out with the whole story in general, right? But it's just what I would like you to do for the couple minutes we have left, all right, is on your note taker that you should have pulled up on Summit if you've been following along, under the line where it says task 2, okay, the first thing up there says define in your own words what is a family tree. What we're gonna do when we come back after the break, since today's Tuesday and then we have off for Thanksgiving, is we're gonna kind of experiment and see if we can craft our own kind of family or community trees just to get even more in the vein of like what this book is going to be about so we understand it. But for today, before you go, I would like you to at least fill out this first part up here, 3A. Define in your own words what is a family tree, okay? So again, you're finding that if you are somebody who joined us a little bit later, you're finding that on Summit for our class, Creative Writing. The project is Homegoing. It's under checkpoint 1 right here, which is reading notes, which you should see when you click on our class if you are registered. And then if you scroll down, it's the second link right here. It says entry event note taker, right? And then what I want you to have filled out before you go is number 3A down here under task 2. Define in your own words for me, what is a family tree, okay? And again, anybody who is not registered for the class yet, I'm going to stop this share real quick. I will put the enrollment code in the chat again for everybody. So that if you are still not registered for this class, you can go ahead and register now. And I will refresh my list and assign anybody who has recently registered. All right, so I've just assigned everybody that has registered. So if you are still not seeing it on your Summit, you can refresh your page and then it should come up. But again, what I want you to do before we head out of here today is, I'm going to share my screen again real quick so everybody can see. On that entry event note taker in Summit, try and get number 3A answered before we leave. Define in your own words what is a family tree. Okay. So make sure we are answering that. Okay. And I see Relisha, you just joined. If you are here for second period, you're a tad bit early. So you might want to jump out and then come back in a few minutes. I apologize.
Okay.
All right, but thank you though. All right, so this is the one we want to have answered. Get about 2 minutes left to do it. Okay. Once you have that answered, please give me a thumbs up or let me know in the chat that I know you've done it. Okay. And once I see that from you in the chat, then yeah, Tyquil, it'll save automatically. Anything on Summit that you're doing, it's kind of like Google Drive. So it saves automatically. That's a good question, though. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot to tell people that. But yeah, once you type that in there and you close, and you're good. All right. So once you let me know in the chat that you've done it, then you are good to go for today. So Shabria, you're good. I saw yours. Tyquil, you're good. Salima, thank you. Okay. As you guys leave, remember that there is still class tomorrow for mentoring. So you still want to log in with your mentor group at 9 a.m. for community meeting. So you'll have like your mentor check-in. Mr. Luke will do his kind of stuff. I think Miss Jess and Miss Kat have some stuff planned. But then after mentoring, you guys are done. So no afternoon classes tomorrow. So then your break starts and we come back again on Monday. So if I don't see you tomorrow, if you're not in my mentor group, please stay safe. Enjoy the holiday, right? Practice the proper health and safety precautions if you can, and enjoy. I will see you guys again next Tuesday, all right? Again, let me know in the chat once you've completed number 3A on your note taker, and then once I see it in the chat, you are good to go. Salima, break is from tomorrow afternoon, and then we come back next Monday, right? So not super long, but then don't forget, a couple weeks after that, we have, the winter break, like for Christmas and stuff. So all right, y'all. Thank you again. All right, Tyquil, I got yours. Thank you. You're good to go. Again, the rest of you who are still in here, once you let me know that you have finished 3A on the note taker in the chat, you are good to go. If I don't hear from you in the next few minutes, I'm just going to go ahead and end the chat for everyone so I can get ready for second period. Okay. Thank you again, though. Have a good holiday, and I will see you all soon. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and end the chat. Thank you guys again. Have a good holiday. I will see you next Tuesday. All right. Thank you, Ashley, for letting me know. All right, y'all. Be safe. I'll see you soon.